Well, hello and welcome back to the Patristica YouTube channel. I'm currently live because I wanted to give you an announcement of the future of the channel, a little update about where we've been, and perhaps more excitingly, where we're going. As a few of you know who are my Patreons, I have spent the last 5 weeks in a state of limbo, waiting to start a new job as a teacher, and now I have started it and have settled in, as well as moving house with my wife, which has been an extremely difficult process. I've never bought a house before, and now I know the struggles of doing so. But we're now in, and as well as being settled in my job, we're also settled in this house. And so with my colleague, Mark Bilby, we thought it might be a good idea to relaunch the Patristica channel, this time with 100% commitment and full vigour. And so it's with great excitement and trepidation in some ways that we want to tell you about our plans going forward for the channel and our new schedule. As you may have seen, if you are a subscriber to the channel, the last few months has been somewhat inconsistent in terms of our upload rate. We have had videos every 2 weeks and then not a video for a month and then 3 or 4 in the space of a week. But we want to begin to regularize that and make a better schedule so that you know when our videos are coming and the quality of those videos can be a little bit better. You may notice in the top left that I have a new microphone courtesy of my subscribers, and in addition to that, a new camera, which previously someone commented something like, it's good to see Jack uses a webcam from the time period of which he studies, namely the 2nd century. So we want to increase the production value, essentially, and hence why I've bought this new gear. And I'm looking at how to edit videos more carefully and with a better, I don't know what, more pretty, essentially. So with this in mind, then, what's our new schedule going to be? Well, essentially, we want to upload at least once a week, and more precisely on a Saturday at 6 p.m. British time and 12 p.m. Central time. That is where my colleague Mark lives. And it will be largely the Saturday videos that we want to put much of our time into. They will be the ones that we have long form conversations with other scholars and colleagues, as well as some perhaps more documentary style shows, though we will see how that goes depending on how well I begin to edit things. In addition to that, we also have the hopes of restarting some of the series that I had once started on this channel in my low budget manner. The Forgotten Father series, we hope to do a video soon on Valentinus with a colleague of ours, and also maybe a Forgotten Colleagues video on Theodore Zahn. Though again, I will judge how much interest there would be on that, as I know that the Forgotten Fathers series is more popular than Forgotten Colleagues for obvious reasons. So there will be our Saturday videos every week at 6 p.m. British time or 12 p.m. Central Time. In addition to that, however, we are really keen on this channel to show you a bit, so to speak, of how the sausage is made. It's all well and good that we give you the conclusions of some of our research and some of the exciting repercussions that that might bring. However, what's really important, I think, as much as our conclusions, is our methodology and our working. And we totally understand that for many of you, this is not as interesting or it seems irrelevant. But I promise you that we can only get to more sure conclusions with scientific, data-led analysis. And that's a long way of saying that every Wednesday, my colleague Mark will be producing a video on data science and the types of methodology we use. Now, I want to say every Wednesday in a caveat, because that will be maybe a slightly more irregular showing, and it may well be that it becomes every other week, every 3 weeks, or once a month, depending on what Mark is doing, how much material he has ready, and things of that nature. And I highly encourage you, even if you don't watch all of those videos all the way through, and it's a bit above your head, and believe me, it's definitely above my head, that you do go and watch them, because like I say, they give you a flavor and an insight into what we do on a day-to-day basis. And I guarantee you that without Mark and other colleagues in our team who are expert in this sort of computational linguistics, data science stuff, Marcus and I would be nowhere near where we are. I've often said that if I had the skills that Mark has in computational linguistics, I'd have finished my PhD in 6 months, not 2 years and 6 months. And so with that in mind, we really want to keep that on the channel. We are also really keen to bring you the content that you want. And one of the best ways that you can tell us about this is in the comments. But if you want a more direct route in which you can guarantee that I will see, or Mark will see, your ideas, thoughts, and suggestions, you can join our Patreons, which are down in the description below. We, at some point, may create a Patristica exclusive Patreon, but at this point, again, it remains to be seen whether that is necessary. The other way to get in contact with us is via email, but for a more regular conversation and to chat with other friends of Patristica, you can join our Discord channel, which again, I will put in a link in the description. It's been a really fun place recently of lively discussion and interesting thoughts, and I hope to be in there more and more over the coming weeks and months as my jobs begin to settle down even further than they already have. Also, once a month in that Discord, or at least once a month if I can, we have a conversation in that Discord where I will join via voice chat, and we will have a little conversation about whatever it is that you're interested in, or research that I'm currently doing. And if you have any questions about any of these things, again, comment in this video. We're currently only 614 subscribers, so we are able to read every comment. And as long as they are at least mildly friendly, I will reply. The last thing I want to update you upon really is my research and what I'm up to at the moment. As many of you know, I'm currently lecturer in biblical studies at St. Mary's University in Twickenham. And as part of that job, I have the great privilege of teaching Synoptic Gospels and Introduction to Biblical Theology. But apart from that, they also safeguard some of our time for research. And I'm currently in the final throes of editing my Ignatius of Antioch book, about whom I will be doing more videos naturally soon. For those of you who are my patrons, you should have already received your free copy. And if you haven't, you please need to reach out to me and I will send you one. It's gone through several edits since I first sent it to Patreons. So if you are a Patreon who has received a copy that was sent when I first began to send them, please do message me again. I'll send you a slightly more corrected version that has a lot less spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. But I'm also beginning a new project, focusing this time on the Didache, a text that causes about as much controversy as almost the Gospels and the Pauline literature themselves. And I'm seeking to apply the same methodology as I did to Ignatius and as Marcus has done to Marcion to the Didache. I have seen recently a lot of gobbledygook regarding the Didache. Things like, it must be a single document, it must have been written around 50 AD, and a revival of some of these thoughts. And hopefully in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be doing a video on this to try and dispel some of these myths with my preliminary research. But before all of that, I want to tantalize you with some of the material that I recorded over the past 3 days with my colleague Marcus Vincent. You may know him as a regular on this channel. He was also previously my Doctorvater and now colleague. We wanted to go back and revisit some of the Marcionite stuff that we had already looked at on this channel, to refresh our minds a little bit about Marcionite scholarship previously, and give a more updated version of where Marcus and Mark have got to in their research on the Marcionite New Testament. So we've recorded about 2 hours-ish of material, which you can hope to see on Saturday at 6 p.m. British time and midday Central Time. In our first episode, we go over the history of the Marcionite question and talk a little bit about how Marcus got into it and where he is now, and the forthcoming publication of his book concerning the Marcionite epistles. So, all of this to say that I am genuinely very excited about the next few months, and we really, really hope that you can join us on this journey as we begin to look at early Christian texts again and create a regular schedule for your viewing delectation. And in the meantime, it'd be really, really helpful if you could subscribe and share our videos with others. We do appreciate that this is a growing podcast field, and these channels are absolutely fantastic and are producing high quality, interesting content on an almost daily basis. And so we only we only expect to reach a very small number in comparison to these marvelous channels. But we do think that we will offer something special here at Patristica, namely that we are 3 people who are currently in the business, in academic institutions, doing the current cutting edge research. And so rather than being maybe more of a bystander in these things, we're talking about the very work that we are working on. And we will also have people on who disagree with us, and we will hopefully debate those people with a great robust attitude. So, as I mentioned, any questions and any thoughts or recommendations for the podcast, please do reach out to me either via email, in the comments, on Patreon, or on Discord. And I really, really, really can't wait to see what the next few months brings. As always, peace and see you soon.